Howdy there, folks. How are y'all doing? My name is Reese, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play adventure in Tekkit Legends, where we are having some wonderful fun here, designing a house for a mayor. Now, mayors are known for being rather picky. They're rather picky people, so we want to make sure that we get this right the first time, so that he doesn't, use any of his power or influence to have our business shut down unlawfully or anything like that. That's the last thing we want to see happen. We want to keep the mayor happy at all costs, like literally whatever it takes. If he complains about anything, just we'll make it up to him. Okay, just whatever it takes. Gotta make the mayor happy. Is the sun already setting? No, it's just dark under this tree. Well, that makes sense. The tree is very shady. It's a great spot to hang out on those real hot days. Just hang out underneath the water tower tree. Strongly recommended. So we're making the mayor's house, and we got to determine how wide and how big and how long and all of that is going to be. And the first things first, we're going to need more concrete. I think we've burnt through all of the concrete we made. I remember thinking that I'd made quite a bit of it, but apparently I was wrong. And that happens sometimes. That or it's in here, and I don't see it, which is also possible. But to make more, we're going to need rebar and stone. So let's check and see how much rebar we've got. We've got a stack, and we've got more being made. Let's just add more iron in here then, so we can make sure production continues as we continue our work. Should I have put, and maybe this is a controversial thing, because I know a lot of people believe in, harsh physical labor, manual labor. It makes the person, better, tougher, stronger, faster, all of that good stuff. A lot of people believe these things, and they're not wrong. I think that physical labor certainly has a place. As a person with a job that is primarily physical labor, I think that it's definitely made me a stronger person, a better person. But I also think that there's some people who are under the impression that if your job does not involve intense physical labor, it's not a difficult job. And, if you ever complain about it, well, you're just being whiny. Because, dadgummit, there are people out there that bust their hump, mister. And what do? You work in an office, an air-conditioned office. And you have a 9 to 5, but also sometimes you're kind of expected to come in early. And you have to stay late, and you have to deal with horrible, horrible people. Your customer base is just like the worst kind of Karens, constantly coming in and complaining about all sorts of petty things, and your boss is constantly threatening to fire you. The work hours are getting longer and longer and longer, and they just cut some of your benefits, and, to comply with whatever new stupid ordinance the mayor has come up with in town, and there's word that there's going to be some people laid off because some politician somewhere had a crazy great idea to allegedly make people's lives better, but actually it's going to cost the owner a whole lot of money. He can't afford to keep everyone employed, so he's looking at you, he's breathing down your throat. You got to try to do more work. You got to make sure that he knows that you can't be fired. You're one of the best employees. You're sweating your brows off. But no, it's okay. You're inside all day. It's an air-conditioned job, you little pansy. What are you crying about? What are you crying? Oh, you're having some kind of a mental breakdown because now you're homeless and on the street. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we'll put down a post. Perfect. Okay, that's the front of the mayor's house. I don't know what my deal is. I'm really struggling for things to talk about during these recordings, so I just sort of turn off. I've often talked about this. There's a part of my brain that comes up with things to say, and then there's another part of my brain that filters those things. Hold on just a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we want to put the last one here. 10. Great. So that's the front of the house. And what inevitably ends up happening is... What? Oh, good. Good. I was a bit worried there for a second. When I record, I'm oftentimes doing a task, like building a fence, as you can see here. And what will happen is the part of my brain that is normally filtering these sorts of things is instead, resources have been diverted. It's a bit of my brain is a dual-core processor, and it can do 2 tasks. It's overclocked, so it can do 2 tasks very quickly. But if you ask it to do more than that, it starts to have, swapping the load back and forth on one of the cores. So... what I usually end up doing is the resource management works in my brain is it just says, this is priority right now, so whatever task, it just puts whatever task that it would normally end up doing on a back burner somewhere. And so the part of my brain that's usually filtering content, filtering the things that I come up with and saying that's not entertaining or that's dumb or that's nonsensical, don't say that. Well, that part of my brain is busy trying to build a house in Minecraft, so it can't really filter anything that I'm saying out. It can't be bothered, which of course means that the filter's gone. The filter is not there, and anything I think just comes right out of my mouth. This is really frustrating. The grass is the worst. I hate it. I hate it in real life, too. I hate mowing it. But that leads to some wacky sort of nonsense coming out of my mouth all the time when I'm doing these sorts of recordings, just because the filter's not on and I'm just saying whatever literally pops into my head. Banana. It just happens sometimes. Banana Baba. Pineapple. Worship the Banana Baba every day. Eat bananas every day. Day. Eat bananas every day. Day. All right, so we're building the mayor's house. Should I go back to here? How? This is going to be like a long, thin, stupidly thin house. Oh, we don't have enough property for it. I guess we can go back to this line. That's what we'll do. That'll make it a little bit wider. Once we finish with the mayor's house, then what? Is that like the most important house and then everyone else just kind of lives on the street? They couldn't afford the property taxes. They were way too high. The mayor just kept raising them and city council just went along with it because dadgummit, you can't say no to a statue of yourself in town, can you? And you gotta pay for that somehow. Oh, that's rich. That's fantastic. So everyone is broke and they can't afford to live here anymore. It's a tragedy, really. Okay, so we've got this built up here. You know what we ought to do? Oh, I've just had an idea. I've just had a wicked little idea that I can't wait to put into practice. But first, let's finish the fencing, because we've got to have fencing all the way around for the mayor's house. I wish they had split rail fencing, or, like the iron. I guess we could have used iron bars. Those look a bit foreboding, though. Those look a bit more like a prison than anything else. But, like fancy iron bars, fancy iron gates that you have. Look, you can't even see this stuff from straight on. How about that? Wild. Oh, no! Oh, mistakes have been made. I had an idea for the foundations of the mayor's house that I think is going to be very much on brand. Does the mayor need some sort of a secret get out? Like a secret getaway to escape from, when people inevitably get sick of his nonsense and they form a mob and they come to, drag him out of his house in the middle of the night. Because that's what happens inevitably. You never get things settled in a peaceful manner. You can't just unelect him. You've gone... Can you climb the... What? What purpose does this serve? If you can just scale it, why does it exist? What? Oh, the mayor has made a mistake. He thinks he's safe in his house. But no, everyone's gotten the little notice in the mail saying that property taxes are going up again, and they're coming for him. And they're going right over the wall. Oh, no. What a disaster. Good for the people, though. It's nice to see people rise up and take a stand. Can we do something about that? Can we get something like stone? And then we will... Oh, we already had so much of that in our inventory. What I was going to say is we can make some stone slabs. And then can we put those on top of this? We'll see. We'll see what happens here. There we go. So it can go on top. It took a couple of clicks to get it there. But does that just look dumb? Yeah. It kind of... it needs something to top it off. Because it looks terrible otherwise, doesn't it? This chain link. We might go with that. It depends on what the mayor's house looks like, though. If we decide to use sort of a different material for his house, I don't want it to look real dumb. No, you know what? We're invested. We're doing it. We made a bunch of those. I've already placed a bunch of them. Let's make a whole bunch more, and let's just roll with it. Mistakes may have been made. Bad mistakes, though, I've made a few. I've had my property taxes kicked right in my... Okay, let's stop talking about that. Let's move on from that. I feel like that's dominated the last several episodes of content. And I don't want to be known as that guy that shouts about imaginary property taxes in Minecraft. That's not what I want to be known as. That guy who, you turn on his video, you sit back with a bowl of popcorn, and you start throwing plastic spoons at the screen. Because that's just, that's part of our tradition. Isn't that what some people do when they go to watch that Tommy Wiseau movie that I've forgotten the name of? The Room. When you go to watch The Room, like some screenings, they have these sort of rituals, and one is anytime you see a picture on the wall with a spoon in it, or really a spoon anywhere. Tommy Wiseau has an obsession with spoons. We're not quite sure why. Anytime you see a spoon in the movie, though, you yell spoon and you throw a plastic spoon at the screen. It's got to be plastic. You don't want to damage the screen. Those projector screens at movie theaters are stupidly expensive. It's insane. You don't want to do that. So you throw the plastic spoon at the screen. You know, spoon. That's just part of the experience. I've never done it. I've never gone to see The Room with a bunch of people. Now, I listened to a podcast by a guy who, when he was in college, it was either monthly or weekly. I can't remember which. Monthly makes more sense, but I really want to believe it was weekly. The local theater did a showing of The Room. So either every month or every week. We're going to go with every week because that's insane, and I love it. So every week, and he would go, I think it was monthly. I think it was like the first or the last of every month. And he went every single time throughout his entire college career. And that's just a good story. I love to hear that. You know what I've just decided? Just made an executive decision on this. We're not going to have dirt out here. We're going to have concrete. He's going to have his house on a ridiculously thick concrete slab. That wasn't the decision I made previously. Remember previously I said I made a decision about the mayor's house's slab, about his foundation. We're going to get to that when we start working the house. But first things first, we've got to finish this out here. And there we go. So we'll kind of encase that. We'll cover the bottom in dirt. I guess I could just... I don't need to fill it in. Some of you are going to be bothered if it's not filled in. I know I am going to be. I'm still really upset that we're only capping off the quarries and not filling them. But I have the patience to fill them. The problem is it would be terrible entertainment. It would be absolutely terrible entertainment for you folks to sit around and watch me do that. Therefore, here we are doing this instead, which is also probably terrible entertainment. But I'm keeping you teased. I keep lining you up with that idea that something crazy is going to happen when I start building the mayor's house, and that you're all going to love it. And that's because you are, I promise you. Are we going to use concrete for the foundation? I think I said we were earlier, but I think I've changed my mind. Let's use a different material. Should we use stone blocks or regular stone or whatever it is? It's got to kind of look like it's keeping the rest of this held up. So I'm not sure how we're going to manage that. Maybe we can get some scaffolding? Scaffolding would look dumb. Regular stone might work. Yeah, stone bricks even? What have we got? We've got a couple of different... We got mossy stone brick. So that's 98.1, and then this one is also 98.1. Why are they in here twice? I don't know. Maybe we should get some cracked stone bricks. You know what? That could almost be some sort of... That could have some sort of a deep meaning behind it, right? Like the mayor's house is built on cracking and crumbling foundations. Yeah, I like that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna use cracked foundation under here. Look at what a disaster this is. It's gonna come just like his, position in the local government. His entire foundations are gonna come crashing down before too long. I wonder, in this strange society we've concocted here, in no way based on real life, the mayor has a mansion. Is that his personal house? Or is that like a publicly owned... Is it like the White House where, whoever the mayor is gets to live there? I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't thought that through enough. I guess if he got, ousted, someone else would get the mayor house. Because I don't think it's his personal property. I mean, how would he afford personal property right next to the... Oh, right. He's skimming money off the top. I forgot about that. I forgot that was the lore that we had created. The reason the property taxes keep going up is despite the fact that hundreds of millions of dollars... Yeah, hundreds of millions. Why not? What city government has a budget of hundreds of millions? I mean, big cities, sure, but everyone knows big cities are corrupt. That's no news to anyone. This is a small town, though, and it's quite the scandal that all of the tax money is just sort of vanishing. So even though they get hundreds of thousands of dollars from the big Christmas event every year, where's that money go? And why does the mayor have a new car every week? Isn't that weird? And what's up with all these peculiar Russian guys hanging around? That wasn't meant to be a Stranger Things reference. It certainly didn't start out that way. I was just like, well, what kind of mysterious people would be hanging around? Russians! The most mysterious of all peoples! There we go. Foundations are done. It's looking great. I need to finish with the fencing. Once we finish with the fencing, I think we'll be good to start inside. I guess I could probably do a couple of episodes off camera where I work on these things. And then, because I think, isn't episode 50 the next episode, and we've got to definitively end the series there. Which, of course, how am I going to do that? The only way I can think of doing that is to do some work off camera, and then suddenly the whole town is finished, which would probably be better, because who wants to watch this, honestly? I'm going to get comments. I do, Reese. Hi. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. I don't like that this is a thing. You know what I mean? I don't like the way that looks. The plan, should we replace that with cracked stone brick? I think that we should. I think we should replace that with... I wish I had thought about it sooner, but it's not going to be that big of a hassle. I'm just worried we're going to end up breaking a lot of fencing by accident by doing this, but if we kind of stay low in the turns. If you folks ever had a Dreamcast in Daytona, USA, you'll know that reference. Daytona, USA on the Dreamcast. Me and Mike have been talking about doing some content. And I think we might need to play that game because we weren't sure what to do, and we were kind of joking around, tossing some ideas back and forth. And he said, "Well, it'll probably just end up being Minecraft." And I was like, "Maybe," but now that I'm thinking about it, me and him racing in Daytona, USA, just against each other for a couple episodes with the comment, that could be fun. If you've never played Daytona, USA, go buy a Dreamcast right now and get Daytona, USA. If you've never played the game, you're not going to recognize that song. Oh, man. Stay low in the turns. There's a level, Seaside Street Galaxy or something like that, where they've got these horses or something, and they make this horrifying sound when you run into them, but also they're miniature. They're really tiny compared to your vehicle. We didn't know what they were for the longest time. They were creepy, though. Man, they made a loud noise. Very unsettling. That's a great game. This looks a lot better already. We've got to finish the foundation, the outside of the foundation now, though, and then we can start work on the. Look, I feel like I've built it up too much now, and what I've actually come up with can never sort of live up to the expectations I've created for what the mayor's house is going to be built on. So I want you to be prepared to possibly be disappointed. And don't be mad at me if you are. It is my fault. I made it sound like I had this big, brilliant idea. Some of you are probably thinking, it's going to be gold, isn't it, Reese? That's where all the missing money is, all the missing tax dollars. And that would be clever. I'm not that clever. That's not the initial idea I had, although now that I'm thinking about it, boy, that does sound good. And it fits in real well with the theme we've got going here, that you can't trust. Don't trust your soul to no backwoods southern lawyer, because the judge in the town's got bloodstains on his hand. Just saying. That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia. It's the nights that they hung an innocent man. This isn't Georgia, though. This is Minecraft. So here at long last is my idea. Let me go into the transmutation table. Let me just type in bone. Get some bones. And this might not even work, I'm realizing now. Oh, there's no bone blocks! I was going to build his house on bone blocks. And it was going to be like, these are the common man that he stepped on to get to where he is today. But I can't do that. My plan has gone away. That is sad. I guess we could get marble. Marble doesn't have an EMC value, though, and that's going to be a hassle to mine a bunch of. And bring it back up here. If we have some in this quarry, there's some right there. Not a lot of it, though. Quite a bit. We could make his floors out of marble, maybe. Or would he have wooden floors? I feel like this mayor would definitely have marble floors. He's that kind of guy. You all know about the mayor. You know what's up with him. We've talked about him enough. I can't wait to build someone else's house. I don't think there's going to be a city council. I think the way this city is going to work is the mayor is the city council. And, the idea was maybe that the bones were the bones of the councilmen who had challenged him in the past. And now there's just not a city council anymore. But cool. I wasn't sure if that was going to work. Fully charge it, right click. How about that? Look at all that marble. And all of this other garbage. Dirt. Don't need it. Dirt. Still don't need it. Look at all this nonsense. Get rid of this all. Did I pick up that other block? Okay, we got quite a bit of marble. That'll work. And it kind of looks like bones. So, maybe there can be an urban legend shared amongst the children that, hey, man, you ever been in the mayor's house before? No, why? Man, did you know he's got the floors made of bones? And you can have that kid's like, no, it's not. You can't have floors made of bones. Like, no, really, though. Some people say it's marble, but my sister knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy's cousin who said that it's the bones of the old city council. They all got turned into the floor because they disagreed with him. Maybe that's how he's staying in office. Maybe that's how this mayor has managed to stay in office long past his term's expiring. I can't remember what the exact line is from Star Wars. He's managed to stay in office long past his term. That's something like that. Yeah, that's definitely how he manages it. So right here, you walk in, and I don't think immediately it goes to marble. I think it comes in, and we have something like this, where we bend it around. And we're going to need some more cracked stone. I shouldn't have gotten rid of that. I was too hasty. I did the one mistake that Treebeard told me not to make. I made the one mistake Treebeard told me not to make, and I got too hasty. And we see where that's gotten us. If Treebeard was here now, he'd be throwing his head back and yelling, "No! Some of these trees had voices of their own." There we go. And then from there, we go into marble. Just big, beautiful marble, as far as the eye can see, for the house. Now, we're going to leave some spaces open so we can have grass. And what I think we might end up doing is having flowers and fountains and things out front. So let's get rid of this cobblestone here. Should we have some sort of path all the way around? Like if we got rid of this, that's what I'm saying, and we did concrete paths around the outskirts of the property for security, naturally, so they can like walk the perimeter. And, you know, to make sure there's no one peeking through the gates, because you can't have that. You can't have people peeking. People are peeking, that means they're planning. And if people are planning, well, nothing good can come from that. Trust me, as a man who used to run a town in City Skylines, I want to clarify, I've never been a mayor, but I have played a lot of City Skylines. I want to make sure that everyone knows that I know what I'm talking about here. You don't want to have people peeking. That's why we should have built it out of razor wire. If we're real, if this fictional mayor we are creating in our minds was real, it would all be razor wire, wouldn't it? So this is going to go around the outskirts. Nice. And then should we do... Yeah, let's do stone around that too. We're kind of shrinking the available space in the middle we can have for the mayor's house. Maybe most of the mayor's house is underground as part of his secret research facility where all the kids that go missing around Christmas time are actually end up. Have we talked about that yet? Have we talked about the missing kids? Oh, there's a lot of missing kids. You know, we say parents keep an eye on your children. You know, they tend to wander off. You don't want to lose your kids. That would really ruin the trip. You know, this happens every year. At least 20 kids go missing just from parents not paying enough attention to them. It's a real tragedy. We don't want that to happen to your kids. And, you know, the parents are like, oh, no, I've lost little Timmy, but they did say 20% of the kids, or 20 kids total, or maybe 20%, I don't know. They would go missing. So I guess I'll just, you know, I'll take that. I'll accept that. That's my fault. I wasn't paying enough attention to him. And then, you know, you move on with your life as you do. But in reality, little Timmy, he's under the mayor's house having experiments ran on him. And it's all your fault for not paying enough attention to him. Now he's being experimented upon. Heaven only knows what's going on. They're turning him into some sort of creature is what they're doing. They're turning him into a weapon. Little Timmy is becoming a weapon that the mayor can use against you so he can maintain his authority, so he can maintain his position in office, his position of power. You have allowed your child, by being careless and letting them accidentally or sneakily kidnap your kid, what you have done is you have contributed to the mayor's plan to have mutant soldiers that will obey his every command. I think he's trying to take over the entire country, is what I think is going on here. I love that that's what this series has become. The 25-25-25 challenge is dead. I mean, we completed it all, really, so it's not dead, but it is complete, and the series has now turned into just some sort of lore crafting video for this town that we're restoring. I don't feel so bad anymore. I apologized a couple episodes ago, but I'm starting to think that maybe I was in the right for taking this guy down and destroying his town. The survivors living out there, they're probably better off now. You got a guy who's trying to take over the country using an army of mutant children that he kidnapped during Christmas events. Although this is plans for the city in the future, so I guess it's going to happen, and I guess it might as well be my fault. Yeah. It's all going to end, and it might as well be my fault. Because I only sleep when it's raining. She screams. And her voice is strained. She says, baby. It's 3 a.m. I might be lonely. And she says, baby. No, she never says that, unfortunately. She never even calls this mystery girl, this imaginary girlfriend of mine. Wow. She says it's cold outside, though, and she hands me a raincoat. She's always worried about things like that. What a sad way to end the episode. With me talking about an imaginary girlfriend handing me a raincoat. Now, why she's giving me a raincoat when it's cold outside is a mystery to me. Why? That's not useful. A raincoat? Give me something that's, going to help me with the freezing cold temperature, sweetheart. But, no, it's the thought that counts. So, hey, look. I'm glad that you folks tuned into this, and I hope that you folks enjoyed it. Until next time, thank you all for watching. God bless you. And we'll catch you next time. We're going to hopefully finish up the mayor's house. Bye!